I have a manifesting success story to tell you. Law of assumption is life-changing. That junker came out of nowhere and it was bad. Everyone is you filtered in. Speaking of being spoiled, how the brain helps us manifest. Cool shit happens to me and I get shit that I want. I'm gonna have these fucking loans forever. That's my Goodreads. By Monday, it's supposed to be a snowy wasteland. He fixed my car heater. Hello and welcome to the vlog. My name is Kristi. We are here to take the woo-woo out of manifesting. It is really important to me that people like me who thought that manifesting was a bunch of like crazy white lady nonsense learn that the crazy white lady woo-woo nonsense is just what some people have decided to do with manifesting. And I'm doing this vlog style because I wish I had ever seen any of the content creators that teach manifesting or any of the coaches that teach manifesting talk about their real life and the manifesting that they're doing in it. There's a lot of superstition surrounding whether or not you should talk about your manifestations before they come true. I think it's just a superstition. Therefore, that's a belief, that's an assumption that I have. So I feel like by sharing manifestation with you this way, I will be helping people like me that I wish I had had this when I was learning about the law of assumption. I love the idea of sharing my life with people who are like-minded. So you're getting a mix of manifestation, teaching, and just vlogging my life and seeing it through the lens of somebody who has mastered manifestation using the law of assumption. So I just got home from work. It's about 5:30. I'm gonna get some dinner. I'm gonna start editing videos and I'm gonna get ready to relax because I brain really hard when I'm at work and I want to relax now. So that's what we're going to do. The wins, they just keep winning. I have a manifesting success story to tell you that I said out loud in 2 vlogs ago. I went to my friend's house for Christmas cookie decorating. In that vlog, I talked about how the heater was out in my Jeep and how it had been overwhelming me and like I couldn't adult well enough to bother to take it to get it fixed. And it was really bothering me because obviously it's cold and I don't have a heater. So I set an intention that it would get taken care of and I wouldn't have to be like stressing out about how to do it and I wouldn't have to take it to the dealership. So I've been talking with Boo Bear over text today. He said, if you think of anything I can do to help shoulder the burden, I'm happy to. As you may have noticed, I really like taking care of you. I haven't hidden it very well. And so I was like, that is unbelievably sweet of him. And so I said, honestly, the thing I have the hardest time with isn't work stuff. It's like an adult in between work. I said like the situation with the heater in my car, for example, because I had told him about that on our last date. I said it feels completely overwhelming to figure out how to take it to the dealership and get it fixed, so I just haven't done that. I said I need a personal assistant to do all my adulting for me. And then he said, I'm fairly good with cars, so if you'd like me to try and research and fix the heater, I bet I can get it working for you. And I said, I would love it if you wanted to take that off my plate for me. It was so cold on the drive home from work today and it's only 20 minutes. And it was like 30 degrees. My toes were freezing on the way home. And I said, I think it's so nice that you want to take care of me and make my life better. A past version of me would have felt uncomfortable having that discussion. The current version of me, who just talked to you in the last vlog about princess treatment and about how receiving is wonderful and it's excellent for both parties, both the giver and the receiver. The version of me now understands that he is asking for an opportunity to take care of me. And if I don't give him that opportunity, neither one of us is going to get to be blessed. I will have a solution and fix for you as soon as I can. And so I said this, the little cry face emoji, and I said, I feel immediately better. And he said, that makes me so happy. I really like that. I literally showed all the teeth when I read that. And I just thought to manifest that for myself on Christmas Eve. It's been less than 2 weeks. Here we are, getting my heater fixed without having to take it to the dealership. Law of assumption is life-changing. You better get on that shit if you're not on it. I'll tell you what. So I'm in one of the locations that is getting the winter storm. And look, it's snowing just out of nowhere, look. Can you see it? You can kind of see it. I love snow. And we got a white squall alert, which the only time I've ever experienced a white squall was in Connecticut when I was at Yale. That junker came out of nowhere and it was bad. I have never, and I have never since. Have you experienced a white squall at any point in your life? It is like all the snow just like dumps in at one time. It's crazy. But they said we have a white squall warning. Maybe we'll get one. I don't know. I'm at home, thankfully. Speaking of being spoiled and manifesting a life being spoiled, I got this in the mail. I was not expecting a gift. So let's open it together. So it was sent to me from Amazon. Yes! Glitter gel for body and face. It makes you sparkle. Color is bling holographic gold. Let's see. Look how pretty. All right, let's put some on. It's got a strong smell. I like the idea of using it like freckles. Oh my god, I love it. I've been looking at unicorn snot for like a hot minute because if there is an opportunity to glitter, I'm a glitter. But let's read the card. I know who sent it to me. Like, we do this somewhat regularly, but I wasn't expecting it, but I'll share with you. So this is the card. It says, Merry Late Christmas and Happy New Year from your BFF. I love her so much. She and I will just randomly send each other surprises from Amazon, and I'm so happy. Look how pretty. So sparkly. Thank you, best friend. Morning. It is Saturday morning. I just fixed my pre-workout, and I thought we could sit and chat a little bit about an important component of manifesting that just I don't think enough people care to dive into, and that is how the brain helps us manifest. Because manifesting is not actually a spiritual process. You can spiritualize it if you want to, but it's actually quite scientific, and it's really just a natural function of how our brain works. So I thought we could kind of chat about that while I get ready, because it's a gym day and I've got other things to do. But while I drink this and wait on it to do its work, let's talk manifesting. So I want to talk about a part of the brain that I speak about a lot, but I haven't really talked about much in the vlog yet, which is the reticular activating system, or the RAS. This is a very interesting part of the brain. It is the part of the brain that is responsible for our awareness, meaning, are you conscious or are you unconscious? And I don't mean that spiritually, I mean that quite physically. Like if you were to pass out and be unconscious versus having your RAS online being conscious. It also acts as a filter of sorts. So we have an untold number of sensory information coming at us all the time. Temperature, sight, sound. The only one that doesn't apply to the RAS is smell, but all of our other senses filter through the RAS before it can be perceived and interpreted by our conscious mind. And this is a really important concept that if you understand it, you will very easily realize that what you see and interpret as being your circumstances, if you don't like them, what you need to do is instill different beliefs, and then your RAS filter will change. So how it filters out your environment and all this sensory information coming in is through a filter of your programming, your subconscious beliefs, beliefs that you're conscious of, your repetitive thoughts. All of that plays into how the RAS will receive the information and filter out. And it's really to give you the most important, most validating information from all of the possibilities that are coming at us. It's not meant to be a hindrance in any way, but it can be a hindrance if you have stinky beliefs, because you will not see information from your 3D reality through a lens of success if you are constantly consenting to a lens of failure. Your reality will reflect to you in a way that proves your belief set true. And that can be why some things seem to happen really easily for you and some things don't. Good job, Anders. Is because our beliefs are complex. Beliefs are not black and white. Beliefs are layered. Beliefs are contradicting. You may have one belief about one thing and then a different belief entirely about a slightly different thing. And multiple beliefs stacked up on each other equals a filter. And when the information comes in, whether it be something that somebody says to you, whether it be the opportunities that you get in your reality to pursue the money dreams that you have, all of that is going to be filtered through the reticular activating system. And the beauty of our brains is that they are malleable. And if you consciously decide to implant and plant seeds of new beliefs, then eventually You know, it's cliche, but it is actually scientifically true that the neurons that fire together wire together. So you can think of it like if you were driving down a dirt road and you drive down that dirt road every single day, your tires are going to start to make tracks in the dirt road. It's the same idea in your brain. So the more you consciously choose your thoughts, the more deeply that tread is going to make its way into the dirt road of your brain. And eventually, it will become so dominant that the other beliefs will fall away and your reticular activating system filter will actually change. And that is when you will start to see your reality differently. It will seem as though things out here are changing, but in truth, a lot of it has to do with how you are perceiving the world and interpreting what you see. One of the most important aspects of manifesting is not giving up on the new beliefs that you would rather have for yourself, because it is scientific that must eventually become your belief system, and then your activating system filter must change, and then you will begin to see your reality differently, because you absolutely cannot see your reality through a lens other than your deeply ingrained beliefs and repetitive thoughts. It's impossible for the brain to perceive its sensory input from the world around you any differently than that. I feel like if more people understood this, then manifesting would not seem so hard and so mysterious. For example, I love astrology. I am a Sagittarius through and through. 5 of my planets are in Sagittarius. 1 is in Aries. I'm heavily fire, but I love being a Sagittarius. Do I think that astrology is real? I think it's fun to think that, but I also recognize that nothing that I have ever encountered in astrology is like a negative for me. So it's just a fun thing that I choose to believe in because I like it, not because there is any greater spiritual meaning to astrology. Same thing with tarot. I enjoy tarot. I've never had a bad tarot reading. I don't believe in bad tarot readings. I think that tarot is a great tool to help you understand some of your thoughts and feelings. It's really all about what you choose to believe about anything out here. The universe is not testing you. That's such a harmful myth that people perpetuate because they just don't really understand manifesting, and they think that the timing of things is spiritual and guided by God or the universe. They think that the bad things that happen to them after they've said that they want something good is the universe testing them, and it just isn't. It's actually that your reticular activating system hasn't put in a new filter yet because your new thoughts haven't become dominant yet. The universe is not testing you. It is simply your reticular activating system is interpreting what you see as negative. It's not a test. And I wish that I could just drill that into everybody's heads. But if you stop believing that something outside of you has any force on you that is negative whatsoever. If you want to believe that outside factors have a positive force, then why not? It's benefiting you. But if you are still believing that the universe is holding you back, or that God is testing you, or he's testing your faith by not giving you what you want, if you are not perceiving your reality as favorable to you, it's because your reticular activating system has a filter in it using a bunch of stinky beliefs. And if you work daily to discipline your thoughts, drive the truck down the dirt road to really deepen those tracks, then your entire reality will start to shift, and it has nothing to do with anything outside of you. It's a controversial one. What are your thoughts about this? Do you feel like I'm way off? I will include in the description some helpful links to the reticular activating system. You can also scroll through the shorts that I have on my channel. There are several, I think, that are about the brain. And if you want more information about how the brain is actually wired to manifest for you, then comment and let me know what questions you have about science, about the science of manifesting. It is not a spiritual procedure. We talked about the reticular activating system. Now we're going to talk a little bit about things I need to do today, because this vlog has been very helpful in me getting shit done. So I need to take some stuff down to storage. So I have this like cart. I have this cart that needs to go. I have a storage unit in the basement of my apartment complex, and I need to take those things down to storage. And while I'm there, I need to measure for storage shelves. I have one set of storage shelves that has like hangers in it for clothing. I put all of my summer clothing downstairs in the storage, and I need to get storage shelves for the sides so that I can just not have things like willy-nilly on the floor. So we need to do that today. I need to do some laundry today. I need to clean my floors today. I've been putting that off for a few days, but if I tell you in the vlog that I need to do it, then I am much more likely to get it done. So thank you for your inspiration and your kick in the ass. I kind of want to have a chill, relaxed day. I am not seeing anybody today. I have a date tomorrow with Boo Bear, and he's going to fix my car tomorrow. I cannot tell you how thrilled I am that that manifestation came true, and that I had enough presence of mind that when I was thinking of it, that I vlogged it for you, because and that's my whole goal, is like, if I think of things that I want to vlog it for you so that you can see the process of like, how does manifesting work? I don't affirm all day anymore. If it's something that I have a lot of resistance about, like if it's an old stinky belief that is coming up, I will spend more time actively working on it. Like, for example, with my student loans, you know, not to reaffirm them, but old stinky beliefs related to my student loans are, I'm gonna have these fucking loans forever. And I don't want to have them forever. So I have to change the stinky belief. So I do have a reminder in my Finch app to help me with remembering to affirm. I remember when I used to have student loans. And I am so glad that shit is not a part of my life anymore. Also, do y'all read? I love reading. I always set a Goodreads goal each year for reading. I wanted to share my Goodreads from 2024 with you. If you have a Goodreads from 2024, talk to me in the comments. I'd love to hear, like, I'd love to hear how many books you read or what a favorite book was or something like that. So 2024 year in books. I read 28 books in 2024 and 13,100 pages. I always set a goal of 12 books. I'd like to at least read a book a month, and then anything over that is great. So this year I happened to read 28. The shortest book was 83 pages. That was that book called Pond Water. If y'all are on TikTok chronically like I am, do you remember when the little old lady was selling the Pond Water book? I went ahead and bought that just to support her. It was cute. And then the longest book, which surprised me, was Harry Potter. The Order of the Phoenix was the longest one, 912 pages. I really would have thought that something else was longer, like maybe Iron Flame. Started rereading Harry Potter, but I was reading them in Spanish, so I was listening to them on audiobook in Spanish. The highest rated book on Goodreads that I read was Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, 4.57 average rating. My average book length in 2024 was around 467 pages. That's some chunky books. But yeah, that's my Goodreads. How'd you do if you are a reader? Did you meet your Goodreads goal? I need to set a challenge for 2025. I haven't done that yet. So I'll just do like I did every year and do one book a month, and then be pleasantly happy and excited for myself when I inevitably read more than that. Y'all, I am out here before like the bad snowstorm comes, and the Potomac River, I mean, it's not the whole river, but part of the Potomac River is for real solid ice. Look at that. That's some ice. Also, it's hella windy, so I don't know if the windscreen, we're going to be testing out this little Sony ZV-E1 windscreen today. But isn't it pretty? I love living here. It's so nice. I went to the gym and immediately threw on a coat and earmuffs to come outside, because it's just like, look at the blue skies. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful day out. It makes me feel so good to be outside. There's something different about walking versus walking on a treadmill inside. Like, just seriously, look. It's so pretty. I mean, there's construction, but you know, like in this shot, it's pretty. I love it. So just walk with me, because by Monday, it's supposed to be a snowy wasteland where I live. Hopefully it won't be all that bad, but who knows. I was thinking about the concept of everyone is you pushed out. And I understand why people say this, but like, I'm kind of a nerd and words kind of matter to me. And I don't think that everyone is actually you pushed out. What I think is actually happening is kind of like what I said earlier about the reticular activating system. I think what's actually happening is that everything that is outside of you is coming at you in real time, and your reticular activating system is filtering everything according to your beliefs and dominant thoughts. And that is the reason that you're seeing things reflected at you. It's not because anything inside you is pushing out. I don't think that's actually happening. I think what is actually happening is it's like you're just putting on a different filter. So when you start getting treated differently by people, it's a reflection of you perceiving them differently and you perceiving yourself differently, showing up differently in the world. And that is what everyone is talking about with the everyone is you pushed out manifesting concept. But if we're to look at it from a neurobiological standpoint, it's actually the opposite. Everything is coming at you and getting filtered through so that you can see it. Your brain thinks it's doing a great thing for you by filtering everything according to your beliefs. It's validating you, and whether that's positive or negative is going to have a lot to do with whether your belief system is positive or negative. What do you think? What are your thoughts? I'm on my way home from my date with Boo Bear, and I wanted to just update you on some things. So he fixed my car heater, so I have heat in my car, which is amazing and so thoughtful and so sweet of him to do. And like, I just feel amazing about that. Like he fixed my car. A, I'm amazed because it was a manifestation win, and B, I'm amazed because that was such a nice thing for him to do. And he made me French toast and eggs for brunch before he fixed my car. I watched Squid Game on his couch while he fixed my car, and then afterwards we went to Dave & Buster's, had a little drink, watched the Washington football game, go Commanders, winning, and now I'm on my way home. We played some games. I kicked his butt at air hockey, and he was great about it, and we had a wonderful conversation about relationship expectations and roles within a relationship, and he led that conversation, he initiated that conversation, and he firmly stated that, oh, hang tight, make sure that I don't go the wrong way here. Oh, I think I maybe just went the wrong way, I can't tell. This is such a, dicey area for traffic flow, so just hang tight so I don't get in a wreck while we do this. Oh my gosh, it's almost too warm. Okay, I think we're set now. So he led this conversation. He was talking about how he believes that it's a man's job to provide him, and I took that as an opportunity to share what I believe the woman really excels at within a relationship, and he seemed so happy and so relieved because it seems like we're on the same page about that. He and I talked about how we've grown from our previous relationship failures because we both have ex-spouses, and he was not trying to blame everything on his ex-spouse. You know, he was very I'm going to take responsibility for the things that I was not good at. And he says he's done a lot of reading and understanding about how to be better and good and healthy in relationships, which is what I did after my marriage ended as well. And so it just seems like we're on the same page about a lot of things. But I want to share one thing that he said with you in particular. He said, I don't want you to get the impression that on a third date with everybody, I'm having them over to my house to fix their car and fix them brunch. He said, there is something about you that makes me want to do these things for you. And I'm not asking him to do these things. These are organic evolutions of our interactions together. And I believe firmly that it's the way that I'm showing up. It is the beliefs that I have instilled about myself and how I get to show up in a relationship and how that gets to be reciprocated for me. It is not something that I am playing with the 3D to get, right? I'm not out here pressuring him or in any way trying to manipulate the 3D to get these things from him. He is doing them of his own accord and his own desire, and it is making his day to do them. He tells me that regularly, it makes me so happy to do these things for you. He said that there is something about me that makes him want to take care of me, and that is not something that I have ever heard from a man, and so I know that it has to do with in part who he is, and also in part the self-concept that I have worked very hard to develop and have not strayed from in my behaviors or my thoughts. And so all in all, Date with Boo Bear was an incredible success. I have heat in my car now, which that's a manifesting win, and I will link the vlog in the description where I thought to manifest that, and I said oh, I'm going to manifest this and I want to record it. I was also in the car, freezing my titties off when it came to mind. And so I'm gonna link that if you want to watch that vlog just for the context and see the time frame that worked out. It's been less than 2 weeks, I think. And now I have heat in my car, and there was no signs of heat being in my car. And I think one of the other things I said in that vlog about manifesting heat in my car was, I don't want to have to take it to the dealership. That's all. I don't care how much it costs. I don't care. Like, I don't want to have to take it to the dealership. And ooh, there are like 10 salt trucks just lined up on the road, ready to go for this storm. The part in my car wasn't actually broken. It had like been dislodged in some way that I don't know or care to know how, but he relodged it and so I have an extra part in case it goes out, because that's apparently a part that goes out pretty frequently on Jeep Wranglers. All of that to say, I have heat in my car, and I deliberately manifested that, and I wasn't thinking about it 24/7, but anytime it did come to mind, I would express gratitude in the form of affirmations. Like, I'm so glad that I have heat in my car again. Like, I'm putting myself in the future of having the heat fixed in my car and being grateful for it in my affirmations. That's the way I like to affirm. Are there other ways to do it? Yeah, absolutely. But I did not set up like any sort of specific repetition schedule. I do that with beliefs that I want to instill, but I don't do that with little here and there things that I want to manifest. If it's something I want, the belief that I work on pretty regularly is like, I always get what I want. Like, everyone is better for me having what I want, and it's always good when I get it. And so of course I'm going to get it somehow, some way. So that's a belief that I want to have about myself. And then when little things come up that I want, like Taylor Swift concert tickets, for example, I went to see the Eras Tour in the theater, the movie theater, with my friend, and I enjoyed it so much. I was like, man, it would be so cool to see that live. And then literally the opportunity fell into my lap to go see her in Milan. And then, you know, same thing with, so that's a pretty big thing, right? Like, getting to be a part of the Eras Tour, if you're a Swiftie, or if you have any understanding of what a big deal that is culturally and historically, that's a really big manifestation, but I just didn't spend that much time on it in terms of manifesting land, in terms of like disciplining my thoughts. It was like, I had a desire for it, like, man, that would be so cool. But the larger underlying desire of cool shit happens to me and I get shit that I want was what ended up bringing that into my reality. And then same thing with this, like with having heat in my car, I was like, God, it is so cold. I mean, it's bitterly cold here. I'm cold natured anyway, and then especially after like 100 pounds of weight loss, I'm cold. And I was not showing any signs of like taking care of this, adulting it for myself. And so I just was like, I want this to be done. And that just goes to show you, you don't always have to be the person to get things done in your life. If you allow things to happen for you, somehow they will happen for you, and you don't necessarily have to do everything yourself. And I cannot tell you how important of a lesson that was for me to learn, that it's okay to not do everything myself. It is okay to put faith in the fact that I will be taken care of somehow, some way, and I don't necessarily have to be the one to go after everything and force things to happen in my 3D reality. It is okay. My little Jeep ducks are moving around. If anybody out there has a Jeep at any point, how do you keep your ducks from sliding across the front? Like, is there like a Jeep duck holder or something that I can buy? Anyways, long story short, it was a great day. Manifestation success in, I believe, less than 2 weeks without constantly affirming for it. And I believe that in large part has to do with the underlying beliefs that I have instilled over the past few years, that good things happen for me and I always get what I want. Somehow, some way, it's going to happen for me. I do not need to stress about it. And so I intend that when you hear this story, you're going to see the possibilities for yourself in it, and you're going to take your self-concept more seriously, because it is the self-concept that everything is always conspiring to help me and give me what I want, that makes it so that I don't have to affirm like crazy for the thing, because either way will work. Right? Either way, I could get the thing, but it's a much more relaxed approach. It's a lot less taxing on my like mental energy. It's a lot more enjoyable of a way to spend your life, just trusting that things happen for you in the best way possible, than to be like, I want a thing. I'm not going to bother with my self-concept. If I have shitty beliefs about getting things, I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to focus on having that one baby thing. It's just not an efficient way to manifest. And yeah, you can do it that way. I'm not saying you can't. But on this channel, We're about utilizing our brain in its natural functions to get the most incredible life possible. And the easiest way to do that is to focus on a self-concept that is expansive and abundant, and you get all the shit you want. I know this helped you. It's Sunday night. I'm back from my date. I cleaned up around the house. I'm having some ramen and I'm doing some editing. I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video here. Thank you for watching. If you got value out of this, please let me know by commenting. If you wanted some kind of different value, let me know by commenting. And if you want to help me get to my goal of monetization by the end of March 2025, please do consider subscribing, like, share, comment, engage so that YouTube will send this out and more people have the opportunity to take the woo-woo out of manifesting. I will see you in the next vlog. Bye!